We'll start with Arnold Schwarzenegger, an action movie star who is at his prime when I was a young lad. And one of the other things, though, I remember very distinctly about Arnold Schwarzenegger is that Arnold Schwarzenegger was my governor when I lived in California. It's a very strange thing. He was a Republican, if you can imagine such a thing. This actor running on the Republican ticket, of course, another famous actor ran in the U.S. on a Republican ticket as well. Ronald Reagan much earlier. But some of the things that I heard Arnold say this week, or at least read in an interview, kind of struck me as something that he maybe couldn't have said when he was more in the political realm. He's currently promoting his new TV show called FUBAR, which, as I understand it, I haven't seen any of it yet. It's my understanding that it is roughly halfway between like True Lies Situation, which is one of his movies, a great movie actually, James Cameron directed, and sort of Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, where I guess the dad and the daughter are both working as spies, and then that was secret in some way. I don't know if that's the actual premise. That's my understanding of it. Unfortunately, when I've looked at the previews, they don't look that great. It looks like when there's stunts happening, you see Arnold's face, and then you see a slender gymnast doing a tuck and roll that was appropriate for like a 17-year-old skinny person. And then, you cut back to Arnold's face, kind of like they would have done in the 80s in The Bionic Man or the 70s, whenever that was. It didn't look great. That's neither here nor there, because Arnold, my governor, did an interview with Interview Magazine, is the name of the site that did the interview. I'm not that familiar with it, but apparently Danny DeVito, Arnold's co-star in the movie Twins, they sat down and did an interview together. And I'm just going to read part of it because it's somewhat interesting to have a public figure, someone as prominent and high profile as Arnold, say some of these things out loud. And per the poll, I guess I will honor the start of the poll, and I will start off at least doing a terrible, 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 terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. We'll see how that goes. Ha 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 ha. It reminds me of Howard Stern's question to me. Tell me, Governor, what happens when we die? And I said, nothing. You're 6 feet under. Anyone that tells you something else is a fucking liar. So I know I don't normally say the bad words on this channel. So when I was a Christian lad, there was a loophole in the being able to swear. And the loophole in being able to swear, and apparently God is okay with this. Apparently my pastor's checked, and this is all in the Bible there somewhere. If you are quoting someone else, if you are saying what someone else said, then you are able to say the bad words. So just for today, just when I'm quoting Arnold, I'm not going to neuter Arnold by taking out his words. As remember those services back in the Christian days? Maybe some of you remember they would edit all the bad parts out of a movie so that the Christians could watch them. And you'd see like an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie in like half an hour because they take out all the bad words and stuff. Anyway, that's where we're at. Anyway, we'll keep going. So Danny DeVito replies to this. You don't know. You don't know. I said, we'll know what happens with the soul and all this spiritual stuff that I'm not an expert in, but I know that the body we see each other now, we will never see each other again like that. This is turning into like Arnold if he's maybe Scottish. I'm not sure. I'm really bad. All right. DeVito says, we deteriorate. And Schwarzenegger replies, except in some fantasy. When people talk about, I will see them again in heaven, it sounds so good, but in reality, we don't know it. We won't see each other again after we're gone. That's the sad part. I know people will feel comfortable with death, but I don't. This is really bad. Yeah, there's some weirdness in here, but that's fine. I'm not Austrian. DeVito says, no. Because I will fucking miss the shit out of everything to sit with you here. That will one day be gone. No. And to have fun, and to go to the gym, and to pump up, and to ride my bike on the beach, to travel around, to see all the interesting things all over the world. What the fuck? Life. It's the best. Exactly. That's what it's all about. What's that all about? I misread that last line. All right. Well, that's all I really wanted to read in the interview. But the point of that was, someone as public as Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's now okay to come out and actually admit in public, I'm going to need a water for a sec. 1 sec. Wow, that was rougher on my voice than I thought. Okay, Arnold just out and out said, when you die, nothing happens, and this whole heaven thing, that's just a fantasy that people use to comfort themselves. But also, that doesn't mean that Arnold is okay with this. He does not want to die. He will miss living. These are okay things for people to say. I know a lot of atheists, including myself, actually have kind of come to terms with, like, when we die, we're gone, that's fine. Arnold hasn't found that spot, but he's not pretending that heaven is more than a fantasy to get there. Anyway, I thought that was noteworthy. I thought it was interesting because one of the things that I'm an advocate for is the normalization of non-belief. So, thank you, Governor Arnold. I appreciate it. And perhaps in light of this, I will give your new FUBAR show a chance.